Fox Business Alert, there could be light at the end of the tunnel for Bayer. Shares of the German pharmaceutical and biotech firm jumping as much as 14% yesterday after the Office of the U.S. Solicitor General formally backed the company's request that the Supreme Court review its case on Roundup weed killer. Plaintiffs have long claimed the herbicide's main ingredient, glyphosate, causes cancer, and over the last 10 years, many juries have agreed. Bayer, which in 2018 acquired Roundup manufacturer Monsanto, has shelled out roughly $10 billion to cover potential settlements. But now Solicitor General John Sauer stated in an opinion that the, quote, Environmental Protection Agency has repeatedly determined that glyphosate is not likely to be carcinogenic in humans, and the EPA has approved Roundup to use labels without the cancer warnings on them. But with numerous lawsuits still swirling, what could this new development mean for Bayer's litigation overhang? Joining me now in a Fox Business exclusive live in studio is Bayer CEO Bill Anderson. Glyphosate, you're clearly in support of the Solicitor General's ruling or reading of this. What happens next? Do you think it gets to the Supreme Court?
Well, we sure hope it does, Liz, because this is a really important topic for farmers, for American consumers, and frankly, for food security in America. Glyphosate is one of the most essential tools that farmers have to fight weeds. And it's been estimated that the impact on farming is something like 20 to 40% reduction in costs compared to farming techniques that don't use glyphosate. And so this is a major tool for making affordable food, healthy, affordable food.
It was during the first Trump administration that his EPA deemed that glyphosate, which is the main ingredient in this herbicide, does not likely cause cancer, and therefore it doesn't have to have a warning on the label. This suit has specifically focused on those who are suing, saying, listen, it was never on the warning label.
Yeah, and I should be really clear on this. This is not a political topic. It's not about administrations. Frankly, if you look around the world, glyphosate has been tested and found safe by every major food regulator, safety regulator in the world. That includes the EU, that includes Japan, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, and repeatedly by the US EPA under administrations of Democrats and Republicans. So this is really about a fundamental principle. If you have hundreds of scientists paid for by taxpayer dollars who determine a product is safe, that has to count for something.
And let's be clear, after the first Trump administration said you don't have to put the warning on the label, 4 years of the Biden administration, they didn't roll it back. So they didn't change that. So that point about politics might be true, and especially considering that actually RFK Jr., who runs Health and Human Services now, was part of a legal team that successfully sued the Roundup company and said that it caused cancer. So, I mean, you got both sides here probably. Maybe RFK is rolling around saying, wait a minute, be careful. But I would simply say that there have been indications that high cumulative exposure of glyphosate has upped the risk for people, particularly farmers who are really kind of breathing it in, et cetera. So what do you want to come out of this? What is the most important thing you can say? And I mean, it's so weird for a lot of people to wonder, why did Bayer buy an agrochemical business when they're in the pharmaceutical business? And this was previous CEO, not you.
Yeah, let me respond to a couple of those things. First off, as to the long-term safety, that's been extensively demonstrated. And again, these regulators, not just in the U.S., but in every other country I mentioned, plus many more, they've never concluded that glyphosate was carcinogenic. Okay, so let's just be clear on that. Now, the question about, how did Bayer end up in this business? Actually, historically, Bayer was also producing medicines, consumer healthcare products, and agricultural inputs. And so this was a combination of a large seed producer and a large chemical producer to, create better solutions for farmers. This is part of our mission. Our aim, the 87,000 people of Bayer, are focused on health for all and hunger for none. And we're doing that right now. And if you ever wonder, how is it that we are able to feed 8 billion people today on planet Earth when 40 years ago, we were struggling to feed 3.5 billion. The answer is we've made a lot of gains in technology. And so these are products that are producing healthy food and safe.
Well, we'll continue to watch that case. And I always thought the German company pronounced it Bayer, but you're saying Bayer. So
well, in America, it's
okay,
Bayer.
Okay, all right. We're in America, I'll say
Yeah.
Bayer. But I always got corrected, like it's Bayer when you're talking about the German company. Let's talk about what else you are developing. And you have had some real successes, particularly with several drugs, including Nubeqa. That is a prostate cancer drug, which so many adult men suffer from.
Yeah. And my family's been severely impacted by prostate cancer, so I really have a keen appreciation for this. And we're really pleased that we've continued to have additional studies on Nubeqa. They've now been included in our label, just showing benefits in different stages of the disease, in different combinations of therapy. It's the leading choice for newly diagnosed patients with metastatic prostate cancer.
Leading choice, okay.
And that's true not only in America, but around the world. So it's a great innovation, and I just couldn't be more pleased at what it's doing for
Linquit, this on the other side, on the female side, for menopausal symptoms like hot flashes. Could that end up being, and this is a non-hormonal therapy.
Yeah,
so that's really interesting, and it apparently works, right?
Yeah, I think we talked about it last time I was on, so I think last time we were hoping to have an approved medicine.
And now
we have one.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, so it's available in across America now. Just launched actually last month, and we're really excited that it's a new option for women who either are not eligible for hormone therapy or choose not to take hormone therapy.
Really quick here. The president is speaking right now about at least his focus for the moment, and that is lightening emission standards for cars. In fact, we got a live shot of him as he speaks. But his real focus this entire year has been on tariffs, slapping tariffs on imports from other countries. Specifically, he's made pharmaceuticals, expensive pharmaceuticals, the issue, because Americans pay more for the same medicine that other developed nations do. You are, of course, German-based, but you have hundreds of operations all over the world, including quite a few here in the United States. But how have the tariffs affected you?
Yeah, not a significant effect thus far. We're producing products a lot of products in America. We produce products in Europe. We produce products in many countries. So it's kind of a balance for us. I think the point that the administration has made and the president's made is right on. There's no reason that other countries, especially highly developed countries, shouldn't pay their fair share for innovations. And so we very much support that reasoning.
So you're not making the argument that so many pharma CEOs have made that, oh, well, if you slap those kinds of things, or you make us spend more so that Americans can pay less, then we won't spend as much on research and development, and that will suffer. Because when Democrats tried to lower drug prices, that's what Republicans said. Yeah.
So let's be clear. I think what's key is that other developed countries need to pay their fair share.
Absolutely.
Which means they need to pay more. It's not like, oh, okay, well, America will foot the bill. So actually, I think it's pretty clear. If prices go down in America and there's not increases in other countries, then there will be less innovation. That's for sure.
You're innovating enough that your stock is up 103% over the past year. So as we continue to watch Bayer, baby aspirin, Bayer, the German company, we'll continue to watch the developments there. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Bill Anderson.